It's true, indeed, the statement is true. It's a joint statement from the party and then parliamentary leadership, and nobody should doubt it. Of course, this is after a crunch meeting, a group of 80 and subsequently becoming the entire majority decision that Ken Ofori Atta and Charles Edubwahin should be made to leave by the president, or they should resign. The president had a meeting with the majority caucus, and then the caucus had agreed with the president that 3 things should be done. The 3 things that ought to be done were the conclusion of the IMF initial negotiations that will find expression in the 2023 budget statement, and then appropriation. Then we'll come back. The president will act on the request of the members of parliament. After that meeting, Mr. Ken Ofori Atta went to town and made a statement that incensed the members of parliament. That look, the president had stepped in this matter, and we've listened to the president and we've agreed that we'll hold our guns till such a time that all these processes are true. The statement Ken Ofori Atta made suggests that he won't resign and he is not going anywhere. So it incensed the majority caucus to come with the counter statement that they won't even participate in the government business anymore, especially the budget statement, until Ken Ofori Atta is made to resign. So that is where we were for the last 2 weeks, that a new position has been developed. There's been calls and meetings until yesterday. And then at the meeting, going back to the president earlier decision, yes, you had a conversation with the president. Whatever anybody says outside that conversation should be treated or should be taken with a pinch of salt, so that you go back to the original position of the president. He's appointing authority. He's giving you his word. So do your part of the bargain, and then you wait on the president to act or otherwise. So that is where the National Council of Elders of the party and the party leadership and then the entire caucus met and said, okay, let's not dwell on what somebody has said or did not say, and continue to hold the president in trust and to ensure that we are, after all these processes, just as the president said, we'll go back to it. If you read the statement, paragraph 2 of the statement, it says, there have been occasional individual interventions of some of which have not helped the resolution of the issue in contention. On the other hand, some of these interventions have contributed to escalate tension and suspicion, just as I said. So now they've recognized all this and said, look, let's go back to our original position, what we had agreed with the president. Since last 2 weeks, we've not had any meeting with the president. So the president's position must be respected and must be held in trust. That is what the National Council of Elders had sought to do, so that all these talk about what somebody has said, what somebody didn't say, to the extent that even before yesterday, Honorable Finance Minister had made a statement that is not even aware that the majority caucus are saying they won't allow him to read the budget. I mean, that statement further heightened tension among the rank and file of the majority caucus in parliament, to the extent that he's oblivious to all the happenings in this country. I mean, that's so serious. But I thank God, at the end of all this, calm has been restored. We've reclined to our earlier position with the discussion we have with the president. We are going to sit in the budget statement. We take the first point, because if they had not concluded that the budget statement could not have, because the budget is supposed to have been taken on the 15th, now they've moved to 24th. What that means is that what we're seeking to get from the IMF to find expression in the budget had been reached. So we are on the point number 2 and point number 3. And we are going to take the budget tomorrow, and we'll finish appropriation, then we'll go back to the president on our earlier demand. So people should not be so much worried about the position and integrity of the majority caucus calling for Ken Ofori Atta. Of course, there are 2 players in this. The president asking him to leave, or he himself voluntarily resigning. And of course, his public posturing and everything suggests that he will not resign. But we will look up.
But why won't he? I mean, too many calls.
I mean, he has clearly indicated he won't go anywhere. He's not even heard the cry of the majority members of parliament, to say the least. I'm a member of parliament sitting here today. The budget will be taken tomorrow. We don't have the brief of the budget to even make an input. So I'm going to sit in the chamber and take the budget for the first time.
Some papers have some
snipers of it. Officially, I'm saying that as a member of parliament. I'm not I don't have snipers of any briefing on the budget to make an input or otherwise. But be it as it may, we'll continue to do government business, and I'm happy that Parliament has finally taken the decision that it binds all of us, whether you were in a meeting or otherwise. The position has been reached that we'll continue to respect the president. The budget is not the Ken Ofori Atta's budget, it's a president budget. So if you refuse to participate in the president budget, I mean, you are not doing any body any good. So let's continue to support the president, take his budget, go through the appropriation, then we'll go back to our earlier position. Per the statement, that is what this statement means for all of us. And I think that our supporters, our followers, the rank and file, should continue to hold the MPs, that our integrity is still at stake. We have not backed down on our call for the finance minister to go. The censure motion that people thought that after going through the censure motion, that means every other matter relating to Ken must go had gone to bed. That cannot be true, because we have said in all our public statements that we don't support the minority call for censure on Ken Ofori Atta. Never. We have never supported them, and we won't support them on that angle. But our call for Ken must go. The issues we raised are with the president. The president had made a huge intervention, and we'll continue to respect the president's position on this matter. So we are done with the first one. The second one is taking the budget statement tomorrow, and appropriation will be done. And we'll go back to the president and hear what the president has for us. So I think that there's no cause for alarm. The party has moved in swiftly. The party council of elders has prayed and has prevailed on members of parliament to respect the president and recline to our earlier position. That has not changed. And people should know that the earlier call for Ken must go has not changed. And the majority caucus decision that all of us in entirety support the Ken must go campaign, nobody has in actual fact backed down on that demand, except to say that the budget is for the president. We must respect the president and support the budget statement of the president and appropriation as we move on.
So, just before I come to Uncle Kwesi, one question.
Right.
I understand that the appropriation would be completed in 3 weeks.
I mean, that's the cycle. After the budget statement, we go for post-budget conference.
That means that you're expecting the finance minister to go in 3 weeks?
Well, whenever the appropriation is done, it depends on what is in the budget. It depends on what is in the budget, and definitely we'll do that before the end of the year.
Uncle, you said no. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. What is not going to happen?
In 3 weeks, I'm asking that in 3 weeks, it means the finance minister will go, based on this statement.
Yeah, based on the statement, once appropriation is done, obviously we'll go back to the president. So it is not automatic that once appropriation is done, Ken is leaving. But we made the case, so we'll go back to the president.
Let me allow Uncle.